అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. సర్వేభ్యో నమస్కారః. గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. Today is the first lecture of the inaugural by none other than our Guruji, Professor Ravi Prakash Arya ji, who has been with us, and with his blessings we have completed 6 basic courses and 1 advanced course. Now this is the second advanced course, and he will introduce you to Vedas today. I will, though he doesn't need any introduction because you know him well in the previous basic course, but nevertheless, briefly, I will introduce him. Let us start this session with paying respects to our country by reciting Vande Mataram and then Prarthana. Chala Chittibabu garu, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram. Vande Mataram.
వందే మాతరం.
వందే మాతరం.
ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let's go for ప్రార్థన. వెంకటనారాయణ గారు.
1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Omkar. गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवतु। ॐ श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
హరి ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమ. ధన్యవాదములండి వెంకటనారాయణ గారు. Now I briefly introduce our speaker. Though he doesn't need any introduction because he has been the first speaker of the course, almost around 10 courses so far. He is the chair professor of Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati UGC approved in Maharshi Dayananda University, India. He is a world-renowned Vedic scholar, philologist, historian and philosopher. He is a prolific speaker and writer. He is widely traveled scholar who has delivered more than 400 popular and academic talks on various topics of Veda. The number may be even more because this is my old figure. On Indian history, Vedas, linguistics, philosophy, culture, and scientific Indian heritage in various countries of the world. He is doing pioneering work for preserving and propagating the universal and scientific Vedic heritage of India under the auspices of Indian Foundation for Vedic Science. You must have seen a lot of posts from him, which I have posted in the group on various books and various activities of this organization. He has his credit many research papers, more than 75, and many books, around 70 running into 84 volumes on the various aspects of Vedas, Vedic sciences, Vedic philosophy, Vedic religion, and Indian history, culture. He is the chief editor of quarterly research journal Vedic Science, dealing with scientific interpretation of Vedas and allied literature and ancient Indian traditions. This journal is acclaimed as an authoritative document on Vedic sciences. He is also the editor of annual World Vedic Calendar, and he has convened several national and international conferences, seminars, workshops on the Vedic sciences, Ayurveda, yoga, spirituality, and Indian knowledge systems. He is a recipient of many awards and the national and international levels. He served as the Higher Education Department of Haryana as principal of various degree colleges for 10 years. So this is a very brief introduction. If I go on, time is not sufficient. With this very brief introduction, I'll request Arya ji to start the webinar, please.
Thank you, Colonel Babuji, CC Babuji, and I greet all the participants of this advanced course on Sanatan Dharma. And it's very delighting to know that our folks, they are taking interest into the Indian knowledge system, Indian culture and civilization. And this course is in high demand. And I think because of the hard work done by Sanatan, this Samiti, Colonel Babu and his colleagues, this course is going to be more popular. So today, as we know, this is the advanced course. I have delivered so many lectures on the initial course, the first stage course of the Vedas. So Dr. Prabhu, he has requested me just to highlight on the scientific perspective of the Veda as adopted by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. As we know, Adi Shankara is famous for his works on philosophy and Upanishads, on Advaita, and Swami Dayananda Saraswati is famous for his work on Vedas. So just to know about how this all scientific things and all these things were propagated, and they are the essence of the Vedas. For that thing, we shall have to know certain things, because this certain technical terms must be known, and these technical terms, they are the doors and windows of any shastra. If a person, he doesn't know those technical terms properly, he won't be able to understand that shastra properly. Just like the house is there, and if we are not able to know where the door is, where the window is, where the kitchen is, where the plumbing work is, so that if you will enter into that house, you cannot function or operate properly without knowing those things. Similarly, any shastra, its technical terms are there, and if we are not able to know those technical terms properly, then we will not be able to reach to those intricate points of the Shastra, and we will keep hovering outside without knowing anything. And this will be a situation like that of a blind man who is not able to know where the pillar is or what the pillar is. Just like in Sanskrit, there is a saying, Naisha sthano raparadho yad enam andho na pashyati. If a blind man is not able to see that pillar or post, it is not the problem with the pillar or the post, but the problem is with that scholar or with that man who is blindfolded and who doesn't know, who cannot see it. So, if we want to know the real essence of the Vedas, as in my previous lectures, I told that Veda is the knowledge of the Brahman regarding creation. It is the information in Brahman regarding this creation, and as per this information, the Brahman creates the world. And whatever the information is, accordingly, precisely, he creates this world. That is why in Vaisheshika Darshan, Kanada says, Buddhi Purva Vakya Kritir Vede. In Vedas, these sentences have been written applying mind, because whatever is found in the creation, the same thing is written in the Vedas, and that proves that the author of the Veda and the author of the creation is one and the same person. So if the author of the creation and author of the Veda is one and the same person, and this creation is the act of one single person, then there should be one single law, unified law, describing or defining the whole creation. There cannot be the two laws or more than one laws to define the whole creation. So for that matter, we shall have to understand certain terms, Devata. Every Vedic mantra, as I told earlier, it has two, three things. A Rishi, name of the Rishi is mentioned, then the name of the Devata is mentioned, then the Chanda, name of the Chanda is mentioned, and sometimes the name of a Swara is also there. So this Devata is very peculiar thing. It's most important thing to know. It is said, Yatenochate sa devata. Yasya vakyam sa rishi, Yatenochate sa devata. So this devata, it's very intriguing word, and all Western scholars, everybody used it, devatas, gods, goddesses, and then they started talking about there is a henotheism in Vedas, Bahu Devatavad, and so many things were talked about. And as per the concordance of Vedic mantras, as per Devata and Rishis, that compiled by me in 2 volumes, it shows that there are 951 Devatas. So, what is this Devata in the context of the Veda? In the context of Veda, Devata means the subject matter of the mantra. Ya tenochyate sa Devata. What has been stated in the mantra, that is the Devata. So that Devata is the subject matter of the mantra. And there are 4 Vedas, and the numerous branches, recensions of the Vedas are there. So there are 951 Devatas. So it is natural that these Vedas should have many subject matters to deal with, right from the creation till the origin of human being, and it gives us the guidance even to how to live in the society, how to live a life so that a human being can attain moksha. Because the entire Indian culture, it is centered around the Purushartha, 4 objectives of the human life, and the Paramartha is the moksha. So whatever action we do, whatever behave we observe, or whatever the study we do, that is all centered around around that objective of the human life, how to attain paramartha or moksha. So our actions, our thoughts, our all behaviors, whatever we do, our satsangati, our company, everything has been directed in a way so that all these things in this mundane world help us to proceed to the path of spirituality, or to attain that spiritual divinity or moksha. So all these things in Veda also, Veda gives us the information. These devatas, these are the subject matter. And Yask is one of the prominent Vedic scholar who gives us the clues regarding the Veda. As we know, through tradition, we also had a time in the history of India when the meaning of the Vedic mantras, they were forgotten. And there was a school of scholar, as indicated by Yask in his Nirukta, led by Kautsa. They used to say, Anarthaka hi mantaraha. There is no meaning of the mantras. Vedic mantras have no meaning, and these mantras, these Vedas or Vedic mantras, are only for the purpose of chanting. No doubt the chanting gives the good vibrations, it purifies the whole atmosphere, but saying that the mantras are meaningless, it was absurdity. And it shows that tradition, how the Indians, they forget the meaning of the mantras in due course of time. So it was necessary that these meanings should be revived. The contextual meaning has to be revived. So many attempts were made, and even Yask himself, he gave a foundation how to understand Veda in its or the intended sense of the Veda. There are two things. When we talk about the meaning, there will be one, the apparent meaning. What comes apparently when you go through a mantra, what appears apparently, that this is the meaning. That is the apparent meaning. And another meaning is the intended meaning. Intended meaning is always different from the apparent meaning, because intended meaning is what has been intended by its author. So how to reach that intended meaning, that Devata, the intended meaning of the Devata? Because if we are able to know the meaning of the Devata of the Vedic mantra, then we will be able to know at least 75% meaning of that mantra. So that is why Yaska says, Deva eva Devata. He defines what is Devata, and he says, Deva eva Devata. This Deva is the Devata. Means all the Devas, they are the subject matter of the Vedic mantra. And who are the Devas? He further defines. Devo Danatava, Dyotanatava, Dyusthano Bhavatiti va. So here three meanings of the word Deva has been given by Yaska. Deva Danatava. Whoever gives you something or contribute, that is known as Devata. Just like the mother gives birth to the child, so mother is Devata, Deva. Acharya, he gives knowledge or jnana to the student, so Acharya is also Devata, Deva. And similarly, father protects the child. He tries to inculcate good qualities in his son, so he is also Devata. Similarly, the king in the society is there, ruler is there. He protects, gives all facilities for the development of human beings in his country. He provides all facilities where a subject or the people, they are able to pursue dharma, artha, kam and moksha, so that ruler is also Devata. The king is the commander, army, Senapati is there. He leads the army to protect the country, and he manages everything for the protection of the country. So he is also Devata. Whoever contributes to the society, they are known as Devas. That is why in Upanishad he says, Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. So these are the human beings, human forms of Devatas. A scholar is also Deva, because he provides you the knowledge, he gives you the knowledge. An enlightened scholar or a yogi, he is also Devatas, because divinity is there. Oh, when you provide, when you contribute to the society, it is because of that divine values within you. That is why when the Rashtra word in Veda, it is Vayam Jagre Rashtriyam Vayam Rashtre Jagriyam Purohitaha. Everybody should be an awakened citizen in the country, leader in the country, so that Rashtra is made by the people who are Ratis. Ra means, Ra is a root which means to donate. They are all donors. A Rashtra is made by the people who contributes to its development and progress. And there is a parallel word in Veda that is known as Arati, who are not giving, contributing anything to the nation, but who are stealing, who are exploiting the nation. Those are Aratis. So those Aratis, they are Arashtriyas. A Rashtra is not made by Aratis, but a Rashtra is made by Ratis, Rashtriyas who contribute to the nation. So this is how all these things, Danatava, whoever contributes. In our system, in our Vedic culture, there is no concept of rights, human rights. Today we talk about human rights, so right, this right, that right, but there is no concept of right. There is a concept of duty, dharma. Everybody has his duty, his dharma is there towards family, towards society, towards nation, towards the atmosphere, this environment. So we have all our duties, and if everybody he performs his duty properly, then nobody needs any right. Our rights will be automatically fulfilled. So, Danatava, then he says, Dyotanatava, whatever illumines in the sky, that is also Dev. All these starry world, these stars, they are the Devatas. Sun is there, he is also Devata. And there are certain things in the Dulok which do not have their own light. So they are also, for them, Yaskes, Dusthano Bhavatiti Va. All celestial bodies, just like planets, satellites, if they don't have their own light, they are also Devatas. So all these nakshatras, the stars, these planets, moon, the satellites, they are also devatas. And on the earth, the people who are contributing to the society, they are known as devas. So Yaska says, Deva eva devata. All these devas, they are the devata, means the subject matter of the Veda. And one more very important sutra is there in Yoga Darshan. It says, Swadhyayat Ishta Devata Samprayogaha. Swadhyayat. When a human being does repeated study of the Shastra, when a person does repeated study of the Shastra, then Swadhyayat Ishta Devata Bhisam Prayogaha, the very intended sense of the Shastra reveals to him. When you do the repeated study of the mantra or any Shastra, then its intended sense becomes revealed to that scholar. And that is why in Shatpat Brahmana, the author of the Shatpat Brahmana, Yajnavalkya says, Mahat tapas tapati yo swadhyayam adhite. A person who performs the study of the Shastras, not study like this modern textbook, but the Shastras and the Vedas, Upanishads, he says he is doing the highest austerity, tapaha. So that is tapaha. Swadhyaya is tapaha, because by doing swadhyaya, a person, a human being, that seeker is gleaning out some beautiful intended sense of that Shastra, so that Devata is there. Now, further, when we go to the Yaska, he tells us that these all Devatas, or the subject matter of Vedas, they have been divided into three classes: Adhyatmika, Adhidaivika, and Adhibhavdika. The highest Adhyatmika Deva, he is the Parabrahma. So, the meaning, the primary meaning of the Vedic mantra, that pertains to the Brahman himself, because he is also the subject matter of this knowledge. And then Adhidaivika. Adhidaivik, as I told Deva, what has been defined, Adhidaivik means all these heavenly bodies, astronomical things. In India, we had a tradition of Devalayas. These Devalayas, they were the observatories to understand this universe, just to understand this whole cosmic system or the creation. So Devalayas, where the deity is established or founded, that deity, we know that also that is also the representative of that energy which is going to form or the create, with the help of which this universe has been created. So those Devalayas, they were also the astronomical observatories. Just like, for example, I'll give you the example of the Mahakal temple of the Ujjain. Mahakal was named because it was the prime meridian 0 degree longitude of the Vedic period. And from that line and just prime meridian 0 degree longitude used to be called as Lanka. This line joining the North Pole to the South Pole and passing through Ujjain, Kurukshetra, and Sri Lanka. This was known as Mahakal, and it was made because this is the greatest time determination factor on the earth. But now this has been switched to Greenwich in England by the Britishers. So this is how the whole system, which was devised by Vedic seers, it was Adi Daivika. So Adi Daivik is all astronomical and Adi Bhautik is Laukik. Whatever we find in this mundane world, it is all Laukik or Adi Bhautik. So this is how even the Yaska, he has classified, categorized all devatas into 3 spheres. Dyulokastha devata, Antariksha lokastha devata, and Bhumi lokastha devata. Because this entire creation is represented by 3 things: Dyava, Prithvi, and Antariksha. Dyuloka is that celestial sphere is there. Then Antariksha is that space between this earth and your sun, and Prithvi is planetary system. So planets are there, then there is a space between the planet and its the star associated with it. And this is whole, he categorizes devatas into these 3 categories. So he says that this Agni is the primary devata of the earth. Agni, Prithvi Sthaniya. Agni is the Prithvi Sthaniya devata, planetary system. The primary devata or the subject matter is Agni, and there are so many devatas associated with Agni. Bhakti devata, Agni Bhakti devata, other subjects which are associated with this Agni. So when the Agni is Prithvi Sthaniya devata, then what will be the Agni? Agni will be the geothermal energy. And in other sense, in social sense, Agni will be the Acharya, a scholar who is imbued with the fire of knowledge. And in Paramarthik sense, Agni is the Brahman because he is all knowledge. This knowledge has also been, Jnana has also been equated with Agni. We usually say Jnana Agni se Pradipta, like that we say. So, in Vedas, there is a parallelism. There is a parallelism between Adhyatma, between Adhidaivika, and between Adhibhuta. So parallelism is there. At Adhyatmic level, this Agni may be the Parabrahma. At Adhidaivika level, this Agni is the energy, even the solar energy, geothermal energy. And at social level, or in this mundane world, this Agni may be the fire. And as well as I told, the Acharya, the scholar, the teacher, or the ruler, they are all part of Agni. And everywhere the yaj is going to be performed. When Brahma yaj is going to be performed, how it is performed? Because South Sutrakara says, Dravyam devata tyagah. What is yajna? Dravyam devata tyagah. When the oblation of Soma is given to the Agni, that is yajna, the yajna takes place. So when we perform the Brahma yajna, what happens? The Acharya is the Agni and the student is the Soma. So the oblation of the student, that Soma, is given to the Acharya and the Brahma yajna is performed. The next yajna is Pitri yajna. How the Pitri yajna will be performed? all our elderly persons in our family or the society, they act as the Agni, and the younger generation who take care of them, they act as the Soma. So that taking care, that oblation of the Soma is given to those Pitri Devatas. So the Pitri Yajna is performed. Because all elderly persons, they are devatas for us. Either they are our mothers or fathers or grandfather. So the Upanishad already says, Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. So this is how this Pitri Yajna is performed, and Deva Yajna is performed on the fire. This Yajna of fire, we put the oblation of some material and that goes to the atmosphere, purifies it, and there are so many things. And similarly, this Devi Yajna is taking place on the Artha itself. Brahmankar says, Etavati vai prithvi yavati vedi. He says, the parameter of the Vedi is as long as this whole earth is there. See, whole earth is acting as the Vedi fire altar, and the sun rays are falling on the earth. Those sun rays which are falling on the earth, that is the Agni, which is going to be burnt on this altar. And due to this reason, the whole creation is taking place on this earth. So this is how the Veda, the first mantra of the Rig Veda itself, it says Agnim Lile Purohitam Yajnasha Devam Ritvijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam. So there, Agni in Adhyatmic sense, it is Brahman. He is a Purohita. He is the Purohita of the creation. He is the first person. Because when nothing was there, he was existing. And after that, if we go to the Adhidaivic sense, then the energy, it is the creator. Because the whole creation took place from Prakriti. Prakriti is the energy itself, active energy. So this Agni is the Purohita of the Yajna. And if we come to the earth, then this geothermal energy is the Agni. And he says, Agni Mile Purohitam. Everything on the earth is taking place due to this geothermal energy. Had there been no geothermal energy on the earth, it would have become a barren planet and then no life can survive on it. There is a scholar, I have forgotten his name, he has given a Gaia theory, and he says in the womb of the earth also there is a reactor, and it emits that radiation throughout the earth, and that makes this earth a living planet. Had there been all these water springs, hot water springs, these volcanoes, all these things, they are caused by it, and due to that this earth is a living planet. And generally we think that the life on the earth is due to the solar radiation itself, but no, it is not correct. In Veda, it is clearly said that the life on the earth is because of the permutation and combination of the solar radiation as well as geothermal radiation of the earth. Had there been no such radiation, geothermal energy in the earth, it would have become a barren planet. So, in that sense, that Agni, and that is why he says, Agni Mile Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Ritvijam Hotaram Ratna Dhatamam. Due to this geothermal energy, this earth is sustaining so many jewels. All these things, they are coming out. This precious metal, jewels, they have been caused by this geothermal energy itself. So, in Adhidaivic sense, it may have so many meanings we can have for the Agni, but in social sense or in Adhibhautik sense, then this Agni will be the Acharya, because he will be the first person, Purohit, to lead that Brahma Yajna. Agni can be the ruler, Agni can be the commander. So this is how these things have been interpreted. And what's the need of doing that thing? I told this, the creation or the author of the creation, And the author of the Veda is the same person. There is only one person, Brahman, who has created this universe. So there must be one single law, unified law, that will applied to all spheres at Adhyatmic level, at Adhidaivik level, and even at Adhibhautik level. And if one single law or unified law is not going to apply to all these levels, then the very meaning or the very purpose of this creation would be marred. That is why he says, Satyai charitai cha abhidhat tapaso dhyajayatah. He says that Rita is that unified law that defines the whole creation right from the activation of the Prakriti or the energy till the origin of life on the earth. Everything will be defined by it. I'll give you one example. Generally, we think that the law of gravitation, it was invented by this scholar. What is
Newton.
Newton. But you cannot define everything with this law of gravitation invented by Newton. Our seers, they did not talk about the law of gravitation. They talked about the law of elementary similarity. And they defined the whole thing through that. In Patanjali, in Patanjali Mahabhashya, in the Mahabhashya of Patanjali, we find a paragraph. And it says, it's a very big one. I'll quote 1 or 2, 3 lines. He says, Tadyatha lostah kshiptah bahuvegena gatva naiv tiryag gacchati nordhvam arohati prithivya vikaraha prithvimeva gacchati antarayatah तथा च एव ये एतः आंतरिक्षः सूक्ष्म आपः आकाशे निवाते नैव तिर्यक् गच्छति नै अर्वागारोहति अब vikaro up eva gacchati. He says, I'll just give you the very gist of it. Acharya Patanjali says that everything is attracted. The effect, the product will be attracted towards its cause. And this is the cause effect system, or he talks about as elementary similarity. He says when we throw some lump of clay in the sky, he says neither it will adopt a transverse path or nor it goes up, but it comes down to the earth itself, because it is the vikara of the earth, prithivya vikaraha, because it is the product of the earth. So being the product of earth, it will be attracted to the earth itself. And he further says the waters are there. When you will splash waters on the earth, so where they will go? They will go to that groundwater, which is the main source of the waters. They will not live on the earth itself until and unless you block them to be there on the earth itself. So they will be attracted, or they will go directly to merge with the underground water, which is their source. And further he says, suppose you have a candle, you burn the candle, put it upside down, then that fire of the candle, it will not go downside, but it will go up, because it is the vikar of the sun. And being the vikar of the sun, it will be attracted to the sun itself. Further, he says that these vaporized waters, because they are the vikar of the gases. So when the water is vaporized, it won't go to the earth, or it won't go to merge with the underground waters, or it will not remain on the earth itself, but it will go up towards the gases, because it is the vikar of the Vayu, and it will be attracted towards the Vayu. Similarly, he says, when the cows, they are coming home after grazing in the fields, they will be sleeping in the house with their own calves. They will not go to the calf of any other cow, because there is a similarity. The progeny, the progeny is the effect, and that cow giving birth to that calf is the cause. So the cause and effect, this cause and effect system, it applies to these animal beings also, human beings also. And he says, when in gatherings the person will sit together, the persons with the same profession, they will sit together. The teacher would like to sit with the teachers. Kshatriya would like to sit with the Kshatriyas, because there is a similarity. The professional similarity is there, because they have been the product of the same profession, so they will meet at the same place. So this is how the Vedic system, whatever the theory is, or whatever the principal rule is there, the law is there, it applies right from Adhyatma to the Adhibhautik level. So it was necessary, as Yask says, that these Vedic mantras, they will have three meanings: Adhyatmik, Adhidaivik, and Adhibhautik. I'll give you one, two, three more examples. Just like, take the word Indra is there. In Adhyatmic sense, Indra is the Brahman, but in Adhidaivik sense, this sun, stars, all these bodies, they are the Indra. And in Adhyatmic sense also, because when we pertain to our body, that is known as also Adhyatma. Our mind is also Indra. And these sense organs, these five sense organs, they are known as Indriyas, means pertaining to that mind. The mind is Indra, these are Indriyas. Similarly, the word Deva is there, the word Asura is there. In Adhyatmic sense, the enlightened human beings or the Brahman is Deva, a scholar is Deva. But in Adhidaivik sense, all these stars, they are Devas. And the Asur, the stars or the heavenly bodies which do not have their own light, they are Asuras. And similarly, at human level, the good ideas, they are the Devas. The bad thoughts, they are Asuras. So this is how the everything is parallelly. It applies to all the things. So when he talks about the Deva Asura Sangram, there in Adhidaivik sense, the particle and anti-particle, that is also, particle is Deva, anti-particle is Asura. So they eliminate each other. Deva Asura Sangram, it goes on everywhere. It goes on your mind also. It is going on in universe also. So this, the whole system has been defined. And at Adhibhautik level, this Vidyut is also Indra. Vidyut is there. This lightning is also Indra. Similarly, the scholar, the king, the ruler, they are also the Indra, because they have those powers. So whatever, just like I told, there are three types of the meaning. Even in our day-to-day language also, those three types of meaning applies. One is apparent meaning. I told lion. So apparent meaning is the lion, means the singha or lion is there. But suppose there is some intended meaning. I talked about the intended meaning, and these intended meanings have two senses. Two types of intended meanings are there. One is extended meaning. When that meaning extends to some other level also, that is known as extended meaning. And one is suggested meaning. You say something, but it suggests something. Just like a person, a human being is standing before me, and oh, I say, oh, he's a lion. So he is a lion. That never means that human being is the lion, but I'm suggesting that he is as powerful as the lion. Suppose you are on the road and some taxi is going, and how you will call? You will say, taxi, come, taxi, come. So taxi, that motor or that non-living object, you are not calling it. But a person who is driving that taxi, you are calling him. Taxi, come. So these are the suggested meaning. These days I am doing English translation of Purmimansa. And Purmimansa, he explains dharma. He says, Chodana Lakshano Artho Dharma. Dharma, as I told, this course is also named as Sanatan Dharma. Dharma doesn't mean only religion. Dharma means duties, knowledge system. Everything is contained in dharma. So your apad dharma, the duty in emergency, as a human being, your duty towards your society, all these are in dharma, and knowledge, attaining knowledge is also dharma. So Jaimini, he defines what is dharma, and Yaska himself, he also says the Vedas, he calls Vedas as dharma. And in Manusmriti, Manu says, Vedo Akhilo Dharma Moolam. Veda is the source of all knowledges, all duties, what is to be done, what is not to be done, and what ought to be done. This is the source book is dharma. Vedo Akhilo Dharma Moolam. And Yask also says, Sakshat Krita Dharmana Rishayo Babhu. There were born seers who were able to reveal these Vedas. And why the Vedas are known as dharma? Because one meaning of dharma is the law sustaining this universe. So these Vedas, because the authorship of Veda belongs to the Brahman and the authorship of the creation also belongs to the Brahman. So if you want to know the law or that unified law sustaining the whole creation, then that is the Veda itself. And Jaimini says, Chodana Lakshano Artho Dharma. Because this Veda is known as Chodana, because it was received by the seers by the inspiration of the Brahman in Samadhi. So this Veda, he says, Lakshanik Artha of the Veda, that is Dharma. The figurative meaning, not apparent meaning, but the intended sense will be the figurative, the symbolic meaning, the allegorical meaning of the Veda is dharma. If you want to know the real dharma through the Veda, then you will have to depend on its figurative, extended meaning, suggestive meaning, because Veda is not going to talk the things directly. It's not apparent meaning is not there. Even the author of the Brahmanakar, he says in very lucid terms, he says, Proksha Priya Iva Hi Devaha Pratyaksha Dvishaha. Devaha means those seers. They were Proksha Priya. They liked to narrate the knowledge, this dharma, indirect way. Proksha, Pratyaksha Dvishaha. They never stated anything directly. So don't depend upon the direct meaning of the Veda. The main, because if there will be the direct meaning, the meaning will remain very much limited. Because the one single mantra, it has to give you the meaning so many things. So you will have to go by its suggested meaning or its figurative meaning. Then only many meanings from one mantra can come out. So this Proksha Priya Iva Hi Devaha Pratyaksha Dvishaha Chodana Lakshano Artho Dharma. These are the defining guidelines for the meaning of the Veda. And there is an ancient scholar, Venkat Madhava. He also did some bhashya of the Vedas. And when Venkat Madhava at one place says, he says, the scholars who devote their time to interpret Vedas through on the basis, with the help of the grammar or the Nirukta itself. He says those scholars only know that 25% of the Veda. But those scholars who are devoting their time with the help of the Brahmana Granthas, they understand the 100% of the meaning of the Vedas. In Brahmanas, we find so many meanings. Just like Brahmana, in a Brahmana Grantha, in Brahman text, we find Kshatram va Ashvaha. This Ashva is there. He says Akshatram va Ashva. He says the Kshatriya is Ashva. Gaur vai Brahmanam. Go is a Brahman. So how these all things became? Why is saying so? He's giving you the indirect meaning, that suggestive meaning. We know four Shroti Yajnas are very famous. One is known as Gomedha, another is known as Ashwamedha, one is known as Avimedha, Ajamedha, then Purushmedha. People used to say, the Western scholars used to say, and Indian scholars also used to accept that ancient Vedic people, they used to kill horses, horse sacrifice, concept is there, Gomedha. Cow sacrifice, concept is there. Ajamedha, this God sacrifice concept is there. Avimedha, sheep sacrifice concept is there. And human sacrifice was also prevalent because Purushamedha is there. And the root Medhri, Medha, it has one meaning, Hinsha, Medhri, Hinshayam. And with that root, this grammatical connotation, with the help of this grammar, the scholars started saying, Gomedha, kill the cow. Ashwamedha, kill the horse. Purushmedha, sacrifice the human being. And today this Balis, concept of Bali came from these meanings. But in Bali Vaishwadeva Yajna, which is the fifth part of the Panchamaha I told, their Bali never means sacrifice. Bali means just to escape some share. Bali Vaishwadeva Yajna for other animal beings living around you. You are feeding ant, you are feeding pigeon, you are feeding cow, dog. This is all known as Bali. Bali means escaping some share of your food for other animals living around you. That is Bali. Vaishwadeva Yajna. So what is the meaning of this Gomedha, Avimedha, Ajamedha, Ashwamedha? Ashwa in Veda, Ashwa means the sun. So, Ashwamedha and Vedic text, they repeatedly say, Medhya vai apaha. These waters, they are medhya. They are purificatory. They purifies your body. That is why that sipping ritual is done. Achmana is taken because it purifies the body. And what happens when certain thing is going to purify certain other thing? So those bad elements, they are killed and the new good ones, they are created. So when the creation is there, something will be sacrificed and some new thing will come up. So this concept of violence or hinsha is in the positive sense. It is not in negative sense that we have taken, that we have adopted, or most of the scholars adopted. So what will be the Gomedha? As I told, in astronomical sense, Gomedha means farming, leveling the earth and making it perfect for farming. And this word Gomedha has been used in Avesta in the as Gomeza. Gomeza in Avesta means agriculture. If you are preparing the land for agricultural purposes, that is Gomedha. And when you will prepare the land for agricultural purposes, something will be destroyed. But the production of the crops will be there. So that is Gomedha in this astronomical sense, you can say. And at Adhyatmic sense, the the sanskar of a human being to be qualified as the seeker of the Brahman. Gorvai Brahmanam, Brahmanatva ka sanskara. Brahmanatva doesn't mean here caste, but the sanskar of a human being so that he is qualified to be the seeker of the Brahman, that is known as Gomedha. Similarly, come to the Ashwamedha. Ashwa means sun. All these in Veda, there is a lot of mention that the chariot of the sun is there. It is being drawn by 7 horses. Though so that Ashwa, that sun is the Ashwa, and its 7 horses are the 7 those lights of Vibjor. Blue, red, whatever it is there, those 7 colors of the light. So that is only the sense of Ashwa in Veda. So Ashwamedha, when the solar radiation, it comes on the earth, it purifies the whole atmosphere and the new creation takes place. So many pathogenic bacteria, they are being killed and the new creation is taking place. That is known as Ashwamedha Yajna. It is taking place on the earth, and when this yajna will take place, what will happen? The creation will take place. And in adhidaivic sense and adhyatmic sense, akshatram va ashvaha, a human being when is given the sanskara of akshatriyatva, sanskara of being a good ruler, qualified administrator, qualified judge, qualified defense personnel. So that sanskara, that is also known as Ashwamedha. And in Shatpat Brahmanakar, author of the Shatpat Brahmana, he clearly says, Rashtram va Ashwamedha. The process of making a state, making the nation, process of making the nation, a nation. In India, regarding India, it is said, na, India is a nation in the making. India is not a nation. He says the process of making a state as a nation, that is known as Ashwamedha, Rashtram va Ashwamedha. And very beautiful in Shatpat, in Yajurveda, in context of the Ashwamedha Yajna, there is one shloka, one mantra is there, and I just quote its quarter part. He says, Ubhau ta ubhau chaturah pada samprasarayavaha. The line is like that. Ta ubhau chaturah pada samprasarayavaha. Uvat and Mahidara, they are doing the translation of this shloka, is this mantra, and it says that the queen and the Ashwa, they will sleep together spreading their legs. But this is not the real meaning, because Shatpat Brahman, in the same context, he says, Rashtram va Ashwamedha. So ta ubhau, he says ta ubhau means these both, the queen and the horse. But this is all absurd. This is all unnatural. It cannot take place. So what you think, whenever the Vedic mantra, it conveys some unnatural meaning, it means that meaning is wrong. Maybe we are not able to understand. But Swami Dayananda, when he translates this mantra, he says ta ubhau, means the both, the king and the subjects, the praja and the raja, chatura pada samprasarayavaha. They should spread the 4 steps. What are those 4 things? Dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. The king and the people together, both these two together, they should propagate or spread the dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. The king must create an atmosphere where the people are able to earn dharma, kama, moksha, and everything. There must be such facilities should be there. So the meaning has to be like that, and we cannot make the apparent meaning. We cannot do the apparent meaning of the Vedic mantra because it is not their nature. The Brahmanakar itself says Prokshatriya ivahi devaha pratyaksha dvishaha. Similarly, the Yask also says that only three types of meaning, parallelism is there. And now I'm coming to Ashwamedha is the purification by solar radiation, and second one, the sanskar. How the sanskar takes place? While defining sanskar, it says gunantara dhanam sanskaram uchyate. Inculcation of the good qualities, that is sanskar. When the good qualities will be inculcated, then what will happen? The bad qualities will be eliminated. So the hinsha is there, the violence is there, but not in the positive sense. It is in the positive sense you will have to take, not in the negative sense. So we are not killing a human being, but we are killing his bad qualities. We are improving his character. We are improving his qualifications. So that is, the low qualifications are eliminated, the higher qualifications are inculcated or introduced. Similarly, Avimedha is there. Avimedha. Avi is the ship. The intermediate energy, when the magnetosphere of the earth is there, when the solar radiation percolates down to the atmosphere of earth, it will have to pass through that magnetosphere, and that magnetosphere of the earth, it acts as the uh, strainer. It the solar radiation, some of the radiations are stopped, blocked there itself, and some are allowed to come in. And in Vedic system, in Vedic culture, the pavitra means the strainer were made, and they used to be made by the wool of the sheep. So the strainer, so this straining the energy, that is known as avimedha. And azamedha, the energy which has not been created as yet, which has not come to us, that is azamedha. And the energy, the future energy, that is known as azamedha. And similarly, the sanskar of a vaishatva, that was also known as avimedha. And sanskar of the skilled worker, non-skilled workers, that was known as azamedha. Aza means, because nothing can be produced without the help of the skilled or non-skilled workers. Even the production is there, no higher officers, good big managers, they can do anything. But the real person in the production, working as the foundation for the production, is those skilled or unskilled workers, and they were known as Shudras. So, because the Aja, they were known as Aja because they were producing the things which were not there before. So, production of the new thing, so that was known as Azamedha. And Purushmedha, one whole chapter in the Yajurveda has been dedicated to Purushmedha, Naramedha. And there you will find a human being, some more than 100 professions has been counted over there. Why? The Purushmedha means preparing, qualifying a human being in different professions, for different skilled, unskilled jobs. That is known as a Purushmedha. And these 16 sanskaras, they are also known as Purushmedha. Because every sanskar, a human being is being processed, and he is being transformed for the better things. And the last sanskara, Anteshti sanskara, in certain books, in certain dharma shastras, Griha Sutras, that last sanskar has been directly mentioned as Naramedha. Naramedha means burning or cremating that dead body. So, Narmedha or Purushmedha sanskar is taking place for the living human beings, for their transformation, for their elevation, spiritual elevation, and lastly, cremating their dead body, and not sacrificing a living human being. This is not prescribed or sanctioned in the Vedas. We must take care. Veda is the knowledge of the creation. It is the information in Brahman regarding this creation, and this creation is known as the Yajna, and the Brahmanakar, Shatpat Brahmanakar says, Yajno vai shreshtatamam karma. This Yajna is the most noble act, because here the creation is taking place. Positivity is there, positive attitude is there, no negativity is there. Aghanyaha. This Advara is also, Yaj is also called as Advara, where Dharati Karmaha. Dharati Karma means where there is no violence. Yes, violence against negative things is there, just to create the positive things. Pathogenic bacteria will be killed so that a human being may live a healthy life. So that is there. Negative aspect is not there, only the positive. In positive sense, we must accept it. So this whole concept of the Vedic knowledge system regarding Devatas, Devata is the main thing. If we are able to understand the Devata, Devata is the key to the Vedic mantra. So this mantra has to be learned through the Devata. Its meaning has to be learned, and most prominent tool to understand Veda is the Yaska's Nirukta and Brahmana Granthas. We know why Veda is the mantra part, Sanghita part. Sanghita is known as mantra part of the Veda, is known as Sanghita. Then the Brahmana part is there. The further Brahma means explanation, expansion. Further explanation of that mantra is there in that Brahmana part. And in Brahmanas, we have so many guidelines regarding how to explain Palasho Vai Brahma, Kshatram Va Ashva, like that. There are so many guidelines. So accordingly, we can interpret Vedas in a very scientific way. So Veda is scientific because it has that Adhyatmika. Brahman is there, because had there been no Brahman, there would have been no creation. And that this energy is there. You know, in Nirukta, it's very interesting to know that Nirukta defines the characteristics of the Devas, these natural phenomena. He says, Deva Atma Janmanaha. These Devas in Prakriti, they are created their own self. Because due to the law of Rita, wherever their requirement is, they are being created. Once the Brahman has given, that push or activated the energy, then everything gets created its own self. Atma Janmanaha, just like when, suppose the cloud is there with the positive charge, so that positively charged cloud will induce its negatively charged cloud itself. The positive charge will induce the negative charge itself. There's nothing has to be done. Nothing is to be done or to be done in the nature. And he says, Karma Janmana. Whenever there is a need, the Deva, these natural forces are being created in the universe. Karma Janmana, according to the need of function. If some function is required, that gets created itself. And further he says, Anya Janmana, Itaretara Janmana. One thing, one force is creating the another force, and that another force is creating that force. In Veda, there is a mantra, Dakshad Aditir Azayata Aditera Dakshaha. Aditera Daksha, Dakshad Aditi. The Aditi was born from Daksha, and from Daksha was born from Aditi. Just like the energy created from matter, created from energy, and energy from matter. So he says, Aditera Daksha. From energy, the matter was created, and Daksha Aditi. And when the need be, this matter again converted into energy. So these all things have been highlighted. He asks one more place, he says, Mahabhagyat ekaiva devataya bahuni namani shuyante. I'm not, maybe I'm not quoting this line exactly, but the very crux of the statement is like that. He says, Mahabhagyat, because these natural forces, they have so many qualities, Mahabhagya. They have so many characteristics, and according to these many characteristics, Ekaiva Devata, one singular Deva, it has various names. It has been described by various names. So, only one single deity, because of various characteristics, is called variously. And he further says, the Devatas, they are their own wheels, they are their own children, they are their own wives, just like we find in the mantra, Surya is there and Surya Patni is there. So Yaska says Surya Patni also means Surya, because how can there be the wife of material thing? The sun is there, so sun, the wife of the sun is also the sun itself. So these things he has given good guidelines how to interpret the Vedas. And Maharshi Dayananda, he also followed the same guidelines. He did not introduce or added something new on his own, and he was trying to understand those things. And all scholars, because there are two things, one is just literal translation and another is interpretation. So literal translation, just to understand, it is also the basic thing. Once we do not know the literal translation, we will not be able to interpret those things. So Vedas, they have the apparent meaning, which is we may we may call as the literal translation, but that is not the final verdict, but that is not the final message of the Vedas. That is not the true significance of the Vedas. True significance lies in the interpretation, and that interpretation is to find out that intended sense, and that intended sense is either the extended meaning or the suggestive meaning. Only then we will be able to understand Vedas properly. So this whole literature, Vedic literature, right from Samhitas, from Brahmanas, from Aranyaks and Upanishad. Upanishad is the final one. You start, and there are four types of subject matter of the Vedas. One is a jnana, information, right information is necessary. Another is vijnana, realization of that information, experience of that information, or the experiment of that information, because the mere information is not sufficient until and unless you have experienced that information. Then when that information is realized or experienced or experimented, that becomes Vijnana. And third one is karma. According to that information and that experience, you do your actions. That is karma. Brahman also does action, but a human being should do that action according to that information, so that his actions may not mislead him, or he may not commit some papa through those actions. What is papa? Shankara, he defines papa. All those activities which are responsible for downgradation of a human being to the lower species. Papa is not the sin. This is the technical term. All those activities which are responsible for the downgradation of a human being to the lower species, those are papa karmas. And you will have to act in a way so that you may earn more and more punya. Punya means the karmas that are responsible for your elevation, spiritual elevation, and finally the moksha. So that karma has to be there. So those karmas, they also include technology. Technology also the karma. In Mimamsa Darshan, this technology or the engineering has been defined in the context of the karma, and Jaimini says, Dravya sanskara karmashu prarthatvat phalashrutir arthavadashyat. Dravya sanskara. refinement of the material, these 5 Mahabhutas, karmasu, for the use in different technologies. And what will be the result? He says, Falashrutir Arthavadashat. And that way, through that technology, the purpose of the human beings will be sold. But those technologies should not be anti-nature, should not harm the natural things. You will have to maintain the balance between your technology and the nature. It should be eco-friendly technology. And further he says, Dravyanam tu kriyarthanam sansakara kratu dharma. As I told, Yajna doesn't mean only this performing Yajna, Pancha Mahayajna or Dev Yajna we are doing. This creation is also Yajna, and whatever a human being creates, that is also Yajna. And simple directions have been given here. Kratu dharma. The Yajna done by the human beings or the technology developed by human beings. What is it for? Dravyanam tu kriyarthanam sanskara. The sanskar of dravyas made of 5 Panch Mahabhutas for use in different technologies. So that is known as engineering. The main objective of the Yajna engineering is the processing of the material things for developing various technologies. So all these things are karma. And then finally the upasana is there. Upasana means meditation. Without meditation, you can't do anything. If you suppose you want to develop certain technology also, then you will have to meditate. You will have to meditate in your mind. So that meditation, if you want to do certain things in the society or develop certain things, then you will have to meditate. Do everything with vichara purvak. Don't do blindly. First have thought, then do. In Sanskrit, there is a shlok, na? You put second step after careful thinking about the first one. So that has to be then upasana, meditation for Brahman. If you want to achieve moksha, then meditate upon Brahman. So these are the 4 subjects of the Vedas. And what will be the use of these 4 subject, 4 type of things? Right information is required for the moksha. Then experiencing that information is also required for the moksha. Then doing act according to that experienced or experimented information, that is also required. Then further meditation is required, and the whole objective, the objective of the entire Vedic literature, whatever there was in ancient period, I told you it was centered around the concept of Paramartha, Purushartha, Trivarga for simple human beings, Dharma, Artha, and Kama, and Chaturvarga, this Paramartha, what is stated by Shankar as Advaita. At Paramarthic level, Advaita is there, then there is no duality, or at this Vyavharik level, there is duality. Human being, we are thinking ourselves, oh, I'm the body, but when the Paramartha will be there, then the seeker would be able to realize that he is not the body, he is the soul itself. He is that immaterial element. He is not that material element. So this is how this whole concept of the Veda, its Vijnana, its understanding, its interpretation goes. So I think I have taken a lot of time, and now I thanks Shishi Babuji, Colonel Babuji, and all our participants who are so curious to know about our dharma, our culture, our civilization. And I think this is the society is awakening and the rising is taking place. Uttishta, people are uttishtanti. So it's a good thing that everybody is so curious about his system. Thanks a lot. Namaste.
Dhanyavadaha, Arya ji. Thank you so much for giving a very deep insight into scientific aspects of our Vedas in one breath for about almost 1.5 hours. We also did not take, we forgot to take breath, in fact. So I think, people are they have come back to the normal level to ask you questions. Pantul garu?
Yeah, just a minute. There are questions in the chat box.
Okay.
So, first question is, what exactly is the scientific method used by modern scientists? What are the methods of our ancient rishis to acquire knowledge?
Actually, as I told, our ancient method to acquire knowledge is very beautifully defined in Nyaya Darshan. How to acquire knowledge, that is the methodology used. And if you will go study that Ayurveda also, you will find the same methodology. We used 4 type of pramanas: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shabda, and Upamana, like that. Mainly 3 pramanas we used: Pratyaksha, whatever we are able to see through our sense organs; Anumana, based upon inferences, just like the smoke is there, so we can infer about the fire. And the Shabda pramana is there. This is the unique one that our system had. Shabda, what is Shabda? The statement of an expert person, statement of a seer, whatever the seer says, whatever his realization is, that cannot be defined. Just like today also, we are following Shabda Praman. If Einstein says E is equal to MC square, whatever it is, I don't know, everybody follows it. Whether you know it or not, you say, oh yes, Einstein is correct. Nobody will say that do experiment, prove it in the lab. Nobody will say. So Shabda Pramana was there. Whatever the seers told, it was accepted, because there is no denying fact that seer has realized something wrong. And that Shabda Pramana, that is known as Arsha. Arsha means the texts written by seers, rishis, Arsha Granthas. So study Arsha Granthas. Do not study the Granthas written by human beings. Meditate upon them. Chintana, Manana, uh, uh, Nididhyasana. All these methodologies, a very big subject. We can have one full lecture on it. So this was the system adopted. And in modern science today, you are doing more and more experiments in the laboratory. Whatever is proved in the or repeated in the laboratory, that is accepted as a valid. And in our system, there was experimental knowledge was also there, but experiential knowledge was also there. Because certain things you can only know by experience, you cannot have experiment on them. So this was roughly the technology or difference of technology, you can say, between Vedic seers or the modern science.
Yeah, Pantra garu, we are very little time. If Arya ji can permit us after Pradhana, can we have some more time of yours?
Yes,
Right.
no problem.
Okay, then we'll have Pradhana Babu garu and then
Okay.
take up questions.
Okay. Venkatnarayan garu.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्रा पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదములండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నౌ లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ జనగణమన.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे.
జై హింద్.
Okay.
ఓకే
जय हिंद
ఓకే లెట్స్ గో అహెడ్.
పంతులు గారు you have to ask questions fast, పంతులు గారు. పంతులు గారు అడుగుదాం అనుకుంటున్నారు రవీంద్ర పంతులు గారు.
ఇంకోటి చూడండి.
ఓకే శ్రీహరి గారు.
Sir, it's not audible, sir.
Yeah, you talk, పంతులు గారు.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Namaskar, Guruji. We had a very beautiful lecture today. This Aswamedha, Gomedha, he told us some of the Vedas. In Ramayana, Aswamedha is dead, but Aswamedha stands for purification. In Ramayana, where is the purification found in that Aswamedha Yagam done by Ramayana period?
You know, Ramayana Balkand, I have done translation and I have given the full scientific import in that one. And that book is available because I'm doing the translation of entire Ramayana. It will come in 7 volumes. So the first volume, Balkand translation has come. Even the Samudra Manthan's, scientific import I have given over there. So you can study. There the 4, the king has 4 wives. That king is the sun, and his 4 wives are 4 directions. He sleeps in western direction. So these the Privritti, these 4 wives, there are the names of 4 directions, and I have given the full explanation over there. I think you can go through that.
No, sir, Aswamedha stands for purification. Huh? You
Sun,
told me
sun,
for
sun is
purification.
Ashwa, purification by sun, radiation heating of the sun on the earth, that is
And
purification.
like that, Gomedha for agriculture purpose. But
In astronomical sense, in Adhyatmic sense, it is a sanskar of Brahmanatva, sanskar of Kshatriyatva, or nation making process also is there. Many meanings are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
right, sir,
Okay.
thank you.
శ్రీహరి గారు.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, I have 2 small questions, sir.
Yeah.
Generally, in our puja part, generally we call avahana mantrams.
Mhm.
Generally, we call adhidevata, pratyadidevata, and one more word is also there, adhisthana devata. So whether all the three are same, or because mantras are different for adhidevata and pratyadidevata.
Yeah, no, actually
and-
they are not same. Adhidaivi means that same astronomical I told. Adhishthan means the Adhishtatri. The Devata whom you are addressing, he is the governing deity. Governing deity. Adhishtatri means governing that.
So for everything, there will be a few, not one devata, it will be governed by 3 or 4 people. That means devatas.
Sometimes suppose there is a main subject and there are subsidiary subjects, but those all subsidiary subjects, they will be under main subjects. Similarly, there may be subsidiary devatas, but their governing deities will be the one. That is.
So one more question, sir. Whether these devatas are not mortal, they are immortal? No, because the Bhagavan itself they said, "Shine punya martyaloko vishanti."
Yeah.
So the devatas will fall after their punya will fall back to this martyalokam. That is on our bhumi. That is
Yeah.
in this transition period. Who will take care of this type of adhisthanam?
You know, even in transition period, there will be certain souls which will be uplifting. There will be certain souls which will be downgrading. So the uplifting soul, they will occupy, just like some posts are there, you are retiring, some are joining. So this whole process is taking place.
So without any break, it will go away.
Yeah. Any
So
break?
like Indra's sthanam. So that next Indra will be already
Next Indra will
mentioned
come.
like that.
Next Indra will come because
That is already mentioned.
subsidiary devatas also. I'll let you know. All these subsidiary devatas are also the part of that main devata itself. They are not different from that. They are the part. Just like I told Yask says, Surya Patni means Surya itself. The sun is there.
Okay.
For human beings, they may be the son, father like that, but so far as the immaterial things are there, they are one and the same thing, representing different characters. Just like.
One basic question, sir, if you permit.
Yeah.
Why this Vedas and other our Vangmayam, they have been made very complicated because you told very clearly the scientific way of this one, we understood. But
Yeah.
inner meaning, with the inner meaning only, these Vedas and Vangmayams were written.
Yeah.
So for normal people like us, we will see only the physical appearance of the word or the meaning. But inner meaning, only very few people can understand, the like our Shankaracharya, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, and only through their bhashyam only we will be able to understand. But like in Ashwamedha Yagam, you told, even after Ashwamedha Yagam, even in the Ramayana, I studied, that after that Ashwamedha Yagam, that Ashwam, whatever they used for the Ashwamedha Yagam, at the end of the Ashwamedha, they have killed. That means they have cut the neck of the Ashwam. That word we have studied. So actually, what you have told in the scientific way, it is not that one.
No, it's not that one. I have given that scientific translation also. That cutting Ashwa is something else. That is symbolic. That are all symbolic. Why? Because this knowledge was not given. If you will give this knowledge in a very apparent way or direct way, then it will become voluminous. If you want to convey 10 things within one word, then you will have to make it concise so that it may convey all the meanings. And for that, certainly the qualification was required. The seers, when a student used to go to his guru's house, the guru always used to ask, he used to give the knowledge to the student who was qualified for it. Because you cannot give the knowledge to the unqualified person. In Yaska's Niruk also, there is a shloka. The Vidya says, Vidya goes to the Brahman and it says, just give me to the qualified persons only, so that I may not be mocked. So the persons who are giving such translations, they are not so qualified. They have not gone through the 6 philosophical treatises, Vedangas. There are so many books. There is a Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotish. So until and unless Bhuyo Vidya Prashasyo Bhavati, Yask also says a person, a scholar who has the knowledge of multi-subjects, multi-disciplines in Vedas and all these things, he can do the justice with the subject only. So that is there. So it was their, you can say the problem also that they could not impart the things in a very simple way, because the lot of knowledge, the whole knowledge of creation is there. So it cannot be, if you will start writing like that, then there will be the thousands of volumes.
Yeah, that understood. Because of this reason, maybe our dharma and Vangmaya was not gone to the people in a proper way.
Yeah, because that's why the guru was required everywhere. So that
Guru
he may
Shishya
explain
Parampara
it.
is required.
In Indian system, there is a lot of importance. Guru's importance is there. But now, because the people, they have started doing explanations, bringing out books. Without those books can also act for your guru. But suppose that you have gone to a wrong guru, he will misguide you. He will tell you that you cut the horse. He will take you for the sacrifice. So the search for the right guru is also essential, because now there's a lot of mixed things are there. On the internet also, the mixed information is there. There is more misinformation instead of good information. That's a problem.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Lakshmi Garu, please unmute yourself and put your question.
Namaste, Guruji. Just now you have said about the Arya, these books are there, which have been written by our rishis only, no? And these have been explained very clearly, the process of Ashwamedha and Gomedha and all.
Yeah.
But how is he terminated as like a science and the Bhashyam? How
Some
feel.
mistake is there, vice president. Actually, for these, I have written a book, Science of Shot Yajnas. In that book, I have explained all these as the scientific import of the yajnas, the science of Shot Yajnas. But I could not hear what you were saying. There is some
Lakshmi Garu, there is మైక్ సరిగ్గా లేదు. ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడండి, మీరు మీ డౌట్ అడగండి క్లియర్ గా.
I wanted to say that Arya Stotras are there, like all the epics have been given by our great sages only, no? But
Yeah,
there
yeah.
it was about the Ashwamedha. Accordingly, after the yajna is completed, this is also in a way to spread the empire, isn't it?
Yes. That's why I told you, Rashtram Vai Ashwamedha. The extension of the Rashtra, that was also Ashwamedha.
And
Yes.
Ashwa only to spread, but why this Ashwa is sent everywhere, and after Ashwa comes back, it is very clearly mentioned in the Ramayana that it is killed, and it seems that the meat of that horse has to be eaten by the king and its family, it seems. Is that right, or am I wrong?
So actually, you study those particular shloka. The author who has translated, that's wrong. There's no such mention in the shloka.
Okay.
That's why I told my Valmiki that Valkand I have published. There is no such shloka, and so many things the authors they have added from their own side. It is not there in the Sanskrit text. That's a problem.
It's not in the Valmiki Ramayana also then?
No.
Okay. Dhanyavad.
Yeah.
Okay. There is one question in the chat box which says that how do we grasp the intended meaning of a shloka?
Yeah, actually, internal meaning of a shloka can be understood by the context and by knowing the proper meaning of its devata. That's only the way out. And repeat it. You will have to repeat, try to study time and again, then some intended sense will be revealed, just like the Patanjali says, Swadhyayat Ishta Devata Samprayoga. So a lot of help is required, no doubt. You can study some translations also, but you have to do a lot of work for that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aryaji, for extended time and very, very elaborate and very crisply explained introduction to Vedas. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Babu garu.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending this lecture. And let us all thank Ravi Prakash Aryaji on your behalf of all of you. I thank him for sparing his time and educating us on the science and technology introduction to Vedas. Thank you so much, sir. We look forward for more lectures from you. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Now, shall we close?
Just a minute. I want to talk to some people.
Okay, sir. Arya, sir, if you want to go, you can. Yeah.
Dhanyavad, sir. Yeah, I see a lot of people are asking what is your PIN number. I have already explained yesterday and also in the orientation class. remember your old PIN number, add 2 before it. If it's a 3-digit number earlier, then you have to add a 20 and make it a 5-digit number. The whole new number will be 5 digits. So earlier, if it is 3, you have to add 20. Earlier, if it is 4, you have to add number 2 in before the number. That's the number. And try to put your PIN numbers. And I think it is high time that I need not repeat this. Put your PIN number. It should be your daily activity. The moment you join, you have to put your PIN number. Okay. Then next, there is one person whom I had no other choice but to put him in the waiting room, because you come with a name like Samsung and iPhone, it is not allowed. So I put a person whose name is Samsung, SM, etc., etc. And so we have no choice. We don't want people who are not registered and who don't put their names and PIN numbers. We don't want such people to attend the class because they are unauthorized. No unauthorized person will be allowed to join. And also, very sad to see that a lot of people are coming late. Please try to adhere to the time. You see, if somebody has come late and they can understand, I mean, the people who have joined early, they can understand how much a person has lost, how much what a great lecture it was today, and how much a person has lost. Of course, you can hear on the video recording, but then being in front and asking a question and feeling that very, very emotionally he has given the lecture today, and every time he does it. So that once you hear that, you will get the real meaning of what the actual subject is. So try to come before time. Don't wait up to 6:30. 6:25 is your time. So please do come on time. So this is what I wanted to say. Namaskar.
Okay, actually, these are the people who have come, but we need to address the people who are not coming. Whether they want to continue, don't want to continue, what?
That we are going to put the message who don't in the chat box, I mean in the group. We have only 35 people who have come today, so including us. So it is very, very saddening thing. People want to, they have registered, they said we want to join, and then you don't come. Then there's no commitment from the individual side. You are deceiving yourself. Don't think that you are deceiving us. First, a person who wants to deceive is deceiving himself first and others later. So don't try to deceive yourself. If you don't want to come, you need not come. If you want to come, please do come on time.
నమస్కారం సార్. నేను ఫస్ట్ బ్యాచ్ సెకండ్ లెవెల్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి మళ్ళీ రీజాయిన్ అయ్యాను సార్. పురుషోత్తమరావు 4525.
4525.
ఎస్ సార్.
మరి మీరు 452 అని రాశారు ఎందుకు?
4521 సార్, సారీ.
21.
నేను సెకండ్ లెవెల్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి మళ్ళీ రీజాయిన్ అయ్యాను. ప్రభాకర్ రావు సార్తో మాట్లాడాను.
ఓకే,
తెలియదు, నేను మాట్లాడలేకపోయాను. బాబు గారితో కూడా మాట్లాడాను.
ఓకే, మీ పాత నంబర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దానికి 2 యాడ్ చేయండి. మీరు పిన్ నంబర్ లో సరిగ్గా వేయండి. మరి 2452 అని రాశారు మీరు.
2452 కరెక్టే సార్ నాది. ఇంతకు ముందు నెంబర్
దానికి ముందర 2 రాయండి. ఓకే,
22 చేయమంటారా?
అట్లా కాదు శిశు బాబు గారు. He has already
appeared and possibly
registered for batch 1 of advanced course.
Okay.
The original number was 452.
Okay.
So we added 2 to that. It became 2452. Now
So-
he's asking what is the number now? Is it 20452?
It is 20452. That's what I said. If your last pin number is only 3 digits, you have to add 20. If your last number is 4 digits, you have to add only 2.
So we suggest him 20452 or 22452.
20.
Zero.
It's
Okay.
simple. Okay.
ఇంతకుముందు
20452 is your number.
మళ్ళీ రీజాయిన్ అయ్యాను. సెకండ్ లెవెల్
Right.
పాస్ అయ్యాను.
Okay.
Right.
జస్ట్ ఫర్ రిపిటేషన్ ఐ జస్ట్ వాంటెడ్ టు జాయిన్.
Very nice. Thank you.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Okay. Anyone else? Kameswarao garu.
Sir, it may not be, excuse me, sir.
Ah,
It may not be related to this VSS class.
ah.
Just to renew our friendship with Kameswara, I would like to talk, sir.
You can talk personally, sir.
Give
ఆయన
the
నంబర్
number.
తీసుకోండి.
Yes, sir.
మీరు ఆయన నంబర్ గ్రూప్ లో ఉంటుంది, ఆయన పేరు, ఆయన నంబర్ తీసుకోండి. ఎందుకంటే ఆయనకు వినపడదు కూడా తొందరగాను.
Sir.
సో మీరు ఫోన్ లో మాట్లాడితే ఆ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ తోటి మాట్లాడచ్చు.
Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
వెల్కమ్ సార్, వెల్కమ్. ఓకే, ఎనీవన్ ఎల్స్? ఓకే, శశికళ గారు మీ నంబరు పాత నంబరు సి time and again it's very difficult for me to repeat. If your last PIN number is only 3 digits, then you have to put 20 in front of it. If your last number is 4 digits number, then you put only 2. So Shashikala garu meeru 617 number meedu paatadaithe 20617 is your new number. Okay?
ఓకే.
Right.
అంటే నిన్న మీరు 22617 అని పెట్టారు, అందుకని అడిగాను.
మీరు 2617 అని చెప్పేసి పెట్టుంటే నేను 22617 అని పెట్టుంటాను.
అవును.
ఒక పని చేస్తాను. I will give the list. I will publish the list.
ఎందుకండి this is a very simple thing. They should know their number, previous number, and they should.
అర్థమైందండి. ఇప్పుడు 20617.
Right.
Okay.
20617. Okay.
మాకు కొంచెం అలవాటు పోయిందండి, క్లాసులు లేవు కదా, దానివల్ల మర్చిపోయాను ఇవాళ.
ఏ పర్లేదు,
నేను రేపటి నుంచి కరెక్ట్ టైంకి వస్తాను.
రైట్. ఓకే, కోదండరామ్ గారు మీరు కూడా చాలా లేట్గా వచ్చారు. అంత క్రితం చాలా టైంకి వచ్చేవాళ్ళు.
సార్ కొంచెం నిన్న నేను బయటికి వెళ్ళి లేట్ గా వచ్చాను సార్, అందుకని నేను అందుకు టైం కూడా నోట్ చేసుకోలేదు. అంటే ఫస్ట్ డే పొరపాటు పడి కొంచెం లేట్ అయిపోయాను సార్. సారీ సార్, రేపటి నుంచి మరి కరెక్ట్ గా వస్తాను.
సనాతన ధర్మ క్లాస్ అంటే 6:30.
అవును సార్. ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్.
దెర్ ఇస్ నో చేంజ్. లింకు కొత్తదేం కాదు, లింకు పాతదే, టైమింగ్లు పాతదే, మేము పాత వాళ్ళమే.
అవును సార్, నిన్న బాగా లేట్ అయిపోయింది సార్, ఎక్కడికో బయటకు వెళ్ళి వచ్చాను, అందులో టైం కూడా నోట్ చేసుకోలేకపోయి కొంచెం లేట్ అయింది. రేపటి నుంచి
అంటే
కరెక్ట్ గా వస్తాను.
మాకు సంస్కృత్ ప్రవేశ్ క్లాస్ వారానికి 2 రోజులు కదా, ఆ అలవాటు అయిపోయింది 4 నెలల నుంచి.
ఓకే.
సో డైలీ క్లాస్ ఉందన్నది సడన్ గా గుర్తొచ్చింది అనమాట.
రైట్. ఇంకా గుర్తుపెట్టుకుని 4-5 నెలలు ఉంటాం మేము ఇలాగే.
అదే. ఓకే.
ఓకే అండి బాబు గారు.
Okay, let us close.
రైట్.